When we think of ancient history, Egypt's pyramids and pharaohs dominate our imagination. But this familiar story overshadows another great civilization, Nubia. Along the southern Nile, the Nubian Empire, also known as Kush, rose as Egypt's rival, partner, and even conqueror. Too often, Nubia is reduced to a footnote, seen only as a source of gold and soldiers for Egypt. In reality, Nubia was a powerful, independent kingdom with its own traditions, language, and art. The Nubians built cities and pyramids, mastered trade, and developed a unique culture. At its height, Kush turned the tables, conquering Egypt and establishing its own dynasty of pharaohs. This is the story of Nubia, a saga of resilience, innovation, and African identity. We'll journey south of Egypt to uncover how Nubia forged its own path and ultimately claimed the throne of the pharaohs. This is a crucial chapter in African and world history, challenging our understanding of ancient superpowers. Nubia, called Tarseti or Land of the Bow by the Egyptians, was famed for its elite archers and formidable warriors. But Nubia was more than a land of soldiers. It was rich in gold, with mines that supplied Egypt's wealth. This abundance made Nubia a key player in ancient trade, funding armies and cities. The Nile in Nubia was broken by 6 great cataracts, natural barriers that protected the kingdom from invasion. Fertile land between the cataracts supported agriculture and thriving cities like Kerma, the first major Kushite capital. Nubia's geography fostered a resilient, self-reliant culture distinct from Egypt. Over centuries, military strength, mineral wealth, and a defensible homeland forged a powerful Nubian identity. Nubians developed their own pottery, architecture, and social structures, not just borrowing from Egypt, but building on their own foundations. This was the bedrock of the Kingdom of Kush, a civilization destined to challenge and reshape the ancient world. Nubia was never just Egypt's shadow, it was a force in its own right. Egypt and Nubia shared a long, complicated relationship, sometimes trading partners, sometimes adversaries. Nubia's gold, ivory, and exotic goods were coveted in Egypt, fueling a vibrant trade along the Nile. Yet, Egypt often saw Nubia as a territory to exploit, sending armies south to control trade routes and gold mines. Massive Egyptian fortresses along the Nile symbolized this dominance. But Nubian resistance never faded. Rebellions flared, and even under occupation, Nubian leaders maintained local authority, waiting for Egypt's weakness. This cycle of domination and resistance created a dynamic frontier culture, blending Egyptian and Nubian influences. Nubian archers served in Egypt's armies, while Egyptian temples rose in Nubia. Despite conflict, the two cultures became deeply entangled, shaping each other over centuries. This complex history set the stage for a dramatic reversal, when Nubia would rise to challenge Egypt itself. The balance of power along the Nile was always shifting. Centuries of contact left Nubian culture deeply influenced by Egypt, especially among the elite. Nubian rulers adopted Egyptian gods, hieroglyphs, and burial practices, building their own pyramids. But this was not simple imitation. Nubians blended Egyptian elements with their own, creating unique art, religion, and architecture. Their pyramids were smaller and steeper. Their temples depicted Nubian kings with African features, and their jewelry fused local and Egyptian styles. The ram-headed god Amun, for example, was merged with a powerful Nubian deity. While the elite embraced Egyptian customs, the broader population kept Nubian traditions alive. Language, matrilineal succession, and indigenous religion persisted. The Meroitic language eventually developed its own script, still not fully deciphered today. This cultural resilience ensured Nubia's voice was never lost, even as it absorbed Egyptian echoes. The kingdom of Kush was not a copy of Egypt, but a civilization in conversation with it. This strong sense of identity would empower Nubia to rise as a true power on the Nile. By 1070 BCE, Egypt's new kingdom collapsed, leaving Nubia free from foreign rule. Nubian leaders seized the moment, uniting their lands and founding the kingdom of Kush, with its capital at Napata, near the sacred mountain of Jebel Barkal. By controlling gold mines and trade routes, Kush grew wealthy and powerful. The Kushite kings restored temples and presented themselves as heirs to the pharaohs, protectors of the Amun cult. As Egypt remained divided, Kushite ambition turned northward. The Kushites saw themselves as saviors, with a divine mission to reunite Egypt and Nubia. Their growing military and economic strength set the stage for a remarkable reversal, the Nubian conquest of Egypt. No longer subjects, the Kushites were poised to become rulers of the Nile Valley. The world was about to witness a new dynasty forged in the south. The rise of Kush marked a turning point in ancient history. As Kush's power grew, its capital shifted south to Meroe, a city rich in iron ore and forests for smelting. Meroe's location allowed for more agriculture and protected the kingdom from northern threats. The Kushites mastered iron production, making Meroe a major center of industry in the ancient world. Iron weapons gave their armies a decisive edge over neighbors still using bronze. This technological advantage, combined with skilled archers, made Kush a regional superpower. Meroe was also a cultural hub, where the Kushites developed the Meroitic script for their own language. The city thrived as a trade nexus, connecting Africa's interior with the Mediterranean and Red Sea. Goods like elephants and ivory flowed through Meroe, enriching the kingdom. Industrial might, military strength and economic vitality made Kush the dominant force on the Nile for centuries. Meroe's legacy endures in the ruins and slag heaps that still dot the Sudanese landscape. By the 8th century BCE, King Pi led a unified Nubian empire as Egypt lay fractured and weak. Inspired by the god Amun, Pi launched a campaign to restore order, marching his army north. His conquest was framed as a holy war to reunite Egypt and Nubia, restoring Ma'at, order and justice. Pi's victory was swift. He was crowned pharaoh of Upper and Lower Egypt, founding the 25th dynasty. For the first time, Nubian kings ruled the entire Nile Valley, from Africa's heart to the Mediterranean. Known as the Black Pharaohs, they revitalized Egyptian traditions and launched ambitious building projects. Temples and monuments rose across Egypt and Nubia, echoing the glory of earlier ages. The Kushite pharaohs brought a renaissance to Egypt, blending cultures with passion and purpose. For nearly a century, the students had become the masters. The rule of the Black Pharaohs was a stunning reversal in the story of the Nile. The Black Pharaohs' rule ended with the Assyrian invasions, forcing the Kushites back to Nubia. Yet, the kingdom of Kush thrived at Meroe for another 1,000 years, a testament to its resilience. Over 200 pyramids still stand in Sudan, outnumbering those in Egypt and proving Nubia's enduring legacy. The Kushites were innovators, masters of iron, creators of a unique script, and builders of a distinct artistic style. Their achievements challenge the idea that African history begins and ends with Egypt. Kush was a major player on the world stage, trading with Rome and shaping northeastern Africa. Their story reveals Africa as a continent of powerful kingdoms and empires, not a blank slate. The tale of Nubia forces us to rethink the ancient world and recognize its complexity. By bringing Nubia's story to light, we gain a richer, truer understanding of history. Next, we journey west to explore the legendary Mali Empire and its fabled ruler, Mansa Musa.